everybody, my fellow Web3 citizens. Welcome back to another episode of the Envelop podcast. I'm your host, Eugene Crypto MC, and today I'm very proud to be joined by Bernhard Üllenberg. He builds DeFi Hack Alerts. This name says for itself. Go check the link in the description. So he's monitoring alerts of DeFi protocols hacking, so it's absolutely useful service. The alerts of this service give you time to react and giving you the chance to safeguard your investments in DeFi protocols or use the information to take financial advantage of the situation. Now it's monitoring 138 protocols, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, correct.
Amazing. So, Bernhard, thank you for joining us. So let's start with your story in Web3. Can you share with us how you first became involved in Web3 space and what continues to motivate you to stay engaged in events in this space?
Okay, so I started with the whole crypto stuff in 2017. I guess like a lot of people became aware of Bitcoin, of course, you know, the high rise and so on. So that was my start. And since then, I'm basically following all the trends, all the hacks we all maybe remember, like Luna crash and all these big things. And well, what brought me more or less to DeFi itself is like the opportunity to earn yield on our investments. So I'm not a trader. I would say I'm a typical DeFi farmer who tries to make a good profit of his invests. So that's where I come from, and that's of course also the reason I moved into this topic of security, because you know, hacks. Just the last 6 weeks, we had like 10 big hacks. That's really a bad situation we are in.
Definitely. So every DeFi user understands it's important to monitor the situation, to know first about hacking of open source protocols. That's the main problem. Then to monitor the hacks because it relates to safekeeping of your funds. So
yes,
it's needless to explain the problem in this space. So if you're a DeFi fan, may I ask you, how do you choose between the API and the decentralization in your decision-making process? What's more important for you?
So for me, it's like I don't like CeFi, to tell you the truth. You know, we saw the FTX hacks and a big trouble with a big centralized exchanges, and I love the transparency of DeFi. So we can check what's going on the blockchain. We can follow other investors. That's the reason that, for example, I love DBank. It's a wonderful service where you can exactly see how people invest. And yes, to bring it to one point, I love the transparency. You know, you can invest in a protocol, in people, and see exactly what they are doing with the money. And that's, you know, any other investments you always have to trust. And here we have the chance to verify.
Definitely. So, taking the idea of DeFi Hack Alerts, how you came to this idea and how does exactly this service benefit its users? Explain its mechanics.
Okay. Well, basically, if you're invested in DeFi, you follow like different Twitter accounts, or you in certain Discord channels, Discord servers especially. And I was in a wonderful one, a very elite one, and they had a channel especially for these messages. And you know what I did the whole day was like visiting this Discord and checking what's going on. Is there a new hack? And so I realized that I'm really coupled, I'm stuck to my computer, always verifying and looking for new information. And I thought that's not what I choose, you know. I always tried to organize my life, to be independent of the place where I am, and to be quite independent of technology as well. And now I'm sitting only in front of the computer and looking and you know, researching. So I thought, how can I solve this issue? And the answer to it is not that I'm looking for the information, but the information comes to me, basically. So what I did is I developed, so more or less I did the same what I did like manually, I did by a program, more or less. You can go to Twitter and make like a search query, like your favorite protocol you invested in, and then, like hack or exploit. And you could search like every minute and try to find like the very first message which announced like a hack. And that's what basically the service does. It takes away this work from you, and it does it like every 15 seconds. So all these protocols we have on the watch list, they are searched for these keywords, and then you get like in return like some tweets, of course. But keywords doesn't really say anything about the content of the message. So the content can be like just a joke about a protocol, or just information on a past hack or something like that. So that's where the AI comes in and gets like all these messages, feed it, and decides, is it really a message about an ongoing hack, like something like the very first message about a hack. And when the AI says it is, and then we still have like somebody to review it, because we know AIs do stupid things as well, and we don't want to send out like an alert and people getting like a heart attack, and then it's just a fake news. So for that reason, there is this human layer which makes the last decision: is it fake news or a real news? And that's like the most important thing, because even if you find a message and if you would send it to somebody by email or any other channel, the problem is we don't get the message. We have Telegram, we have Discord alerts, we have like Twitter alerts or whatever. And our phone is always asking for our attention. And now there is a message which is like the most important message of the day for you. And to solve this issue is there's a nice companion app from a website. It's called Pushover. And this app is basically nothing else than an alert system. It brings you this message to your attention. It overrides like all the sleeping settings, like don't disturb. Anything will be ignored. So the message gets to you. And that's basically, what the service is about: finding the right message and delivering it, getting it to you. Because that's where the time is needed. Just the very first hour after a hack, you have the chance very often in lending protocols, for example, that you still can get out of the liquidity pools and so on. And that's how the service is compounded or developed.
Thank you for this clear explanation. Let me paraphrase how I have understood this. So it is a simple searching automation system where AI, as I do understand correctly, monitors Twitter hack alerts, and it relies on message of alerts of protocols which somebody has already provided before.
Exactly.
And if somebody has not provided a message, we still don't know about the hack, but good guys are always providing messages about hacking protocols. So
Exactly.
because it's open source and open community, so I can't even imagine a situation where one of a protocol has been hacked and nobody has provided information about this. So everybody monitoring. Okay, so this very reliable source of information, and AI scans Twitter, and sounds very simple. Sounds very simple. So how to use this service? What should one do?
Yeah, to use it, it's very simple. You just go to the website and you register with your email, and that's the first channel of delivery by email. But I strongly suggest like to register at this other service, like pushover.net is the name, and they have like companion apps for Android, for iOS, for your desktop, even for your watch, you can get like an app. So there you register, you get like a key, like a user key, it's called. This information you put into your account information on our side, so we can contact you this way as well. So that's all. More we don't need.
Absolutely. So, well, DeFi users, if you have insight with monitoring Twitter on hack alerts, so just go to the description, link in the description, DeFi Hack Alerts.xyz, and subscribe on these alerts. It's extremely simple for any DeFi user. It's needless to explain even how it's useful. You name yourself a member of Guardians of DeFi. Who are these amazing white hat guys, and how to become a Guardian of DeFi if somebody wants to do it?
Yeah, it's basically it's just what I said. You know, there's this layer of human verification, and you know we need people like all around the world, because sometimes I sleep, sometimes I'm at the doctor, and these alerts are like really important, like the most important information of the day, basically. So I can't do the job just by myself. So I found like some other people which like the idea, which like to be supportive in this community, and they give their time and their attention. So they get like the very first, they are very first alerted about a possible threat, and they get it on their mobile phone wherever they are, any time zone, anywhere. And on their phone, they can quickly just confirm it, like it's a real threat. And then like the subscribers of the service will get the alert as well. Or they say, it's just bongus, it's not important. They, you know, just go on with your life. So these people, I like the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. I think it's a fantastic, funny movie. And somehow I felt like the same way, because, you know, the whole space is really like full of not so nice characters. And I think it's necessary that some people try to keep it a good place.
Well, so an idea came to my mind when you were talking. You have already chosen 138 protocols, probably by its open information about that. If
Exactly.
A creator of a protocol, probably dozens of them, can he message you and ask to add his protocol to your DeFi service? In marketing purposes, of course, but is it possible in your case?
Of course. You know, we have just one tiny limitation. We say, you know, the TVL of a protocol should have like some a month, like at least $1 million like $1 million should be invested, because otherwise there is just, you can imagine, like as more protocols you add to the whole system, as more messages needs to be validated, and as more people, so for that reason we try to have like a certain level, you know, like size of what a protocol should be. But if a protocol has at least this kind of investments, they just write an email and the next day they are already on the list. So we don't charge any money. We don't charge for the protocols. We don't charge the users. I think it's an important service, and I don't need money for it. You know, it's basically, I've got so much good things from DeFi. I can make a living from my investments there. So this is like one thing I can give back to the community.
Sounds very well. So, guys who personally know me, let me paraphrase and make a clear message for you. If you do build a DeFi protocol, you may message to Bernhard, easy to find its context, and to ask to add your protocol at his our system. It is for free. It will be working as a marketing for you, and you will make our space more informative, more clear, more developed, I would say, because everybody in the space still have been doing, and I remember that I joined crypto space in 2017 as you did also. So we have seen the history of the previous 8 years and when DeFi period in 2020 DeFi summer, and CryptoKitties in the end of December 2017. Yeah, what time it was, So yes, add your protocol and let's make the system of OP more clearer than it was before this interview. So let me ask you, Bernhard, about your future plans, because I know that it's easy to realize from your website that you probably work alone and you have no team members, and you maybe need people, guardians of DeFi, of course, and people to your team. What other resources you maybe need for developing of DeFi Hack Alerts? What are future plans for developing? What resources do you need? Money, information, people on smartphone. So this is call to action time. You make all the call to action you need. It is absolutely allowed right now in this moment of the interview.
Yeah. The best I could get is like some more people who act as a guardian, because that will make us even faster in our responses. So that's one thing I would ask for if anybody is interested and has a little bit of time. And it's not a big effort, because it's like every day it's like 20 messages or something right now. But the thing is, the messages have to be worked on like in minutes, not in hours. So that's a point why we need like more people. The way the service could be like developed is, one issue is of course like a hacks of protocols. Another topic is, especially for somebody like me who invests in stable coins a lot, is like depegging information. You know, we UST, we had like with Luna, the depeg. If you would have act fast at that time, you could limit your losses, of course. And that's something which happens like to MIM stablecoin as well, like just a few months ago, or other stable coins, which are not so stable as so that could be like one direction of the service. But I try to keep it like a basic and focused service. I don't want to make it like a big security company or something like that. I think it has a very focused use case, and I try to keep it this way as well. I think people will value it as soon as they have invested in a protocol which is hacked and they got the information in time. I have already like lots of people like from the last hacks which said, you know, thankfully I got the information in time and I could remove some money and haven't lost anything. That's the best and what can happen to me, and that's why I do it. You know, like yeah, that's that's it.
It sounds absolutely honest. We all, the old people who've been saying, at least for since 2017, we need for idea. If we have stayed till this moment, it resonates with something which is inside our mind, our idea, and because a lot of people came into Web3 space, then they left it just because of winter. I hate the term of crypto winter. There's no winters or summers or even seasons in the industry. The space has been developing. It's been developing, and by the people who drives it, who moves it forward, because they are moved by ideological things. And we Envelop also, the founders of Envelop, are extremely ideological guys. Exactly. So, do you see any challenges where probably your satisfactions and dissatisfaction? The DeFi space is still young. It appeared in 2020 on the market. The first protocol were launched in 2017, if I don't remember. But nonetheless, since 5 years of existence, we have a short period of history. Your personal satisfactions or dissatisfactions, do you have any lack of opportunities in DeFi space? What would you add if you had such an opportunity as a magician, I would say?
Yeah, I think like more security, you know, that it's a very simple answer to a big problem, but you know, we get like better wallets. Like for example, I think Rabi wallet is a much better wallet than MetaMask, for example. There are so many things which can go wrong today, which are for non-technical people like really difficult to understand. I think the chance we could get, the developments we should support is to make it simpler. You know, like my mother wouldn't be interested in investing DeFi if I tried to explain her different blockchains, different wallets, different fees, different whatever, you know, signatures you have to make, and she wouldn't understand anything. And I think the idea, the best would be if we could make it so simple that people just don't have so many technical problems. Let's say it this way. I think that's a big challenge.
So DeFi space at least seems quite sophisticated for an average user. So crypto seems sophisticated for an average person on the earth, and DeFi, it's a sophisticated space in crypto. So I don't believe that DeFi space will get so-called mass adoption. This meme or this idea of mass adoption has been lost, I think, and we don't need to be guided by this idea. We need to build, we need to promote a space. Let me ask you, some of my friends, by the way, from the user perspective, they were wondering why German banking system is so slow, so they get used to more quick banking system in different countries. And the question arises in my hand, do you see any chances for DeFi space to replace, not replace, or maybe to compete with a banking system in Europe, or it looks like a fantasy, which probably won't be realized in next 30 years?
I think there are like some companies which are like this term like neobank we have here, like which are banks only or located on the internet, basically. You know, they don't have any offices or like around the corner, like stuff like that. I think these companies, for example, Trade Republic, they make like big steps in like allowing buying, selling, transferring of crypto. And as soon as the really big players will support stablecoin transfers, you know, why should you use like an old system where you have to wait days that the money arrives, and then, you know, if you send over a certain amount, you will be asked, you know, where does the money come from, and where does it go to, and all these things. So I absolutely believe that there will be a change in this way, that the typical transfers of money will be via DeFi and so on. It's something you can't stop, because I lived in South America, for example, and when I moved back to Germany, I had to transfer some money, and it took 1 week to transfer like the money, and I thought like that's like crazy, you know. And as soon as you start with DeFi and realize, you know, you can send like your USD stablecoin in minutes to somewhere, so anywhere in the world, you know, so the typical banking sector is no real competition to that.
Yeah. Definitely. You know, as an economist, I can't even say that the banking system can be portrayed as a competitive sector. Banks do not compete because all the banks are inside of the system of a central bank of the country. Exactly. There's not competition. There's limited access of privileged players which operate with our money, not even money, fiat money. I am an economist, an Austrian school economist. I can't call fiat money by money. You mentioned South America. We know that these countries with a huge hyperinflation, they do understand very well how crypto works. Argentina, Chile, it's one of the places where adoption of crypto is going very, very well. Europe is not the place where crypto adoption is going very well. Post-Soviet countries, maybe, but probably this is another great advice for all non-crypto guys. If you are annoyed by the slowness of the banking system of a country, try to use stable coins. It is probably the most simplest way to start using crypto. You don't even understand this volatility in Bitcoin. Just use stablecoin. It works like your dollar or euro, but this is a crypto tool. And this is your step to DeFi, father. If you learn to how to use stablecoins, if you learn how it works in minutes in your money in your pocket,
Yes.
Especially in non-custodial keeping, that's another great place. So then the next step will be your DeFi. This is your step. This is your 1, 2, and 3 steps to the world of Web3. This
exactly
is how it simply works.
Yes.
Well, do you have any thoughts on the current stage of Ethereum? Because DeFi space appeared by appearing of Ethereum 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So do you have any concerns about the criticism of the platform right now?
I have no real criticism of the technology, for example. And I'm big invested in Ethereum. That's my biggest volatile currency or coin I'm holding. And I saw like the last 2 years, the development of the current value went down and down and down. But for me, it's like just, you can try to trade crypto based on information, like what you hear on Twitter, what people are talking about and so on. But I realized in the last 8 years, you can do it by things you hear are just like an echo chamber, it's just like, how should I say it's like if the value of a Ethereum goes down or up, it's a question of how fashionable the currency is right now. Of course, the technology people, they have different reasons why they buy and sell and so on. But the big value or the big trades, they are based on what is fashionable, so for that reason, there were so many bad news. So the course went down and down and down. I don't really care because I think it's just like a trend of news, like people like to say, it's going down and the technology is bad and will be replaced by Solana or whatever. And I basically think like, okay, and in a month the people will say, oh, Ethereum is so good, it's like the basic layer of DeFi, and nothing else will have so many developers. So it's always like who shouts louder and who makes a trend, and then the value will go up. So my personal opinion is, I was happy that the last few weeks there was a slight change in the trend, and I hope it will go on. But that's it about it. As I said, I don't care about like specifics of the protocol, which will be changed in a few months or not. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I think it's a good, healthy community they have. They have good developers. Anybody who puts serious money on the blockchain will put it on a good foundation, and I think that has Ethereum proven the last years. So yeah, that's my point of view to it.
Do you have any perspective on any thoughts on Hyperliquid or the HyperEVM chains?
Well, I'm a fan of it as well, but DYDX, for example, was a very popular exchange for quite a while as well. It's like sometimes it's also like trends, like Hyperliquid is a good product. It has an amazing airdrop, which made a lot of people rich or richer. And so for that, they have a big fan base. I can't really compare them from the technology point of view. I always think like if a protocol makes a chain just for their use case, I feel it's like if it's fast, it's centralized. That's basically my point of view. It's a good exchange. It's fast. But it's very centralized from my point of view. And so it's just a choice you make. Maybe Binance brings out a new perp on their chain, makes it competitive to Hyperliquid, and then people move over there because there's a big next airdrop to farm. I don't know. What's your point of view about it?
My point is that we should not forget that blockchain trilemma hasn't disappeared anywhere. So, for safety or security or decentralization, if the system is very fast, it's not decentralized.
Yes.
It's quite simple. It's quite simple. Like a very simple rule: not your keys, not your coins. The first rule, the second rule is blockchain trilemma. So, you know, Bernhard, probably we've produced 3 great advices on this episode of the Envelop podcast. The first, DeFi users, go check the DeFi Hack Alerts, subscribe on Bernhard Alerts. DeFi founders, if you want to market your protocol, why not to write an email to Bernhard and ask to add your protocol to its amazing 138 protocols, for now, a list of the protocols. And non-crypto users, if you're still using banking system and you are annoying with this, try to use stable coins to move your money. And welcome to the Web3 space and probably to DeFi space, especially if you are in Europe. The fourth advice, guys, if you want to join to a guidance of DeFi or Bernhard's team, just email him and ask for this purpose. So Bernhard Üllenberg, the builder of DeFi Hack Alerts, has been on a guest on this episode of the Envelop podcast. I'm Eugene Crypto MC. Stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, and build Web3 space, join Web3 space, join the DAO Envelop if you're a fan of smart NFT. And let's move in this amazing world, which is changed by our hands and our minds right now.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Blockchain. BLOCK chain. Digital money, smart contracts, NFT, IDO, decentralization, transparency. So many opportunities, but so many challenges. Some financial manipulators, by their actions, confuse blockchain solutions and block their development. The idea that the blockchain should bring copyright and royalties protection to the next level is quite old, but the realizations of these ideas are not perfect at all. There is another problem of determining the value of a particular cryptocurrency or NFT. These and other problems need to be solved. Fortunately, the blockchain infrastructure is evolving. My name is E, Mr. E, and I represent the Envelop project. Many things have already been invented in the blockchain today. Tokens, smart contracts, platforms for creating your own coins, NFTs, exchanges for buying, selling, and exchanging all these blockchain resources. Envelop is another step in the development of crypto technologies. The protocol that works with NFT and cryptocurrencies. The idea is simple but disruptive. Let's assume you have an NFT, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Using the Envelop protocol, you can wrap the original NFT accompanied with several tokens. Technically, you get a similar NFT, but what is the breakthrough here? Once wrapped, the token has a number of additional features that were not available before. The minimal cost appears. It is provided with coins wrapped together with NFT. An asset wrapped with Envelop has a number of properties that allow the original author to receive royalties from the resale of that asset. Various rules can be applied to the wrapped token. For example, a lock period for unwrapping. It secures the asset till the determined moment or safeguards it from speculation during the hype period. At the same time, wrapped tokens can be transferred and traded. These are just some of the scenarios for using Envelop. NFTs become more popular, and the tools provided by Envelop expand the opportunities of NFTs utilization. Wide application possibilities are achieved due to the fact that, in addition to the protocol, the project includes a number of subsystems. The protocol provides functions wrapping and unwrapping. Oracle Mechanics provides asset valuation using analytical algorithms. Index provides a summary assessment of several NFT assets with the common criteria. The project has its own token, which connects all elements of the system. Altogether, this is Envelop, a tool in the blockchain world for building modern and secure systems in various fields. Find more info about the project on the website. Envelop. Make your NFT valuable. Just practical. no hype.